Okay, guys, welcome to the team call for Wednesday is June 8th. It's so weird to say June. I clearly am just crazy, psycho, fired up right now, and I wanted to share. I have a lot of things to go over with you guys today, and it's not even going to be everything that I picked up on this past weekend, but to kind of recap what I experienced this weekend, full on, like, chin quivering, ugly cry was happening. Because for the first time, I truly opened up about, this past winter, what Sean and I went through. And a lot of you, know we went through cancer and chemo, but a lot of you don't know, the backside to that. So I was able to finally, share my vision. Because, my why from when I started is very different than it is right now. Obviously, it's been 3 years. It's going to evolve and change. But to sit in a room with about 20 people who are all growing this business with passion and love every single day, Christina Delgado, Liz and Michael, my upline coaches, just to sit there and share with them, I don't even know how to explain it. I knew that I was in the right moment or in the right place at the right time to share my heart with people. And when I was flying home, I stopped to think, how can I pay this forward to more people? And I'm obsessed right now with rebranding and recreating my mission for helping you guys be successful at life, not just Beachbody coaching. Because to me, if Beachbody coaching goes away in 10 years, are you still going to be successful? Right? It's not that Beachbody is your life. It gives you life. So I want to teach you guys how to literally kick ass at everything and anything you want. I think it's so cool. We have a couple girls doing the bikini competitions right now. Has nothing to do with Beachbody, but they're kicking ass at life and they're pursuing what they want to do. Not that you have to do a bikini competition, but that's a challenge, right? They're going to grow personally from it. They're standing up to the challenge. So it's things like that where I just get this is why I'm in a tank top right now, because I'm sweaty, passionate, excited. The other half of this weekend was so amazing to see other people open up and hear their stories. And I say this all the time. You have to get to events and you have to push and qualify for these events, because when you get there, everything that you thought walking into those doors is completely different, right? When you leave there, everything makes sense. Courtney, you're on my screen right now. I know you came to our team retreat and you're like, okay, I'm in this. When I got here, I wasn't really too sure how this retreat was going to go. And when you left, we all felt on fire. And it's reassuring that I am in the right place at the right time. So hearing some other stories, wild stories. Some people have been literally abused their entire life. Some people have been abandoned by their parents. Some people have lost loved ones and they had no idea how to overcome those struggles. And you realize I'm not alone in this crazy thing we call life. Regardless of what the challenge is in front of you, we're all together in this. So we're going to talk today about some exciting, fun things. And then I want to share a little bit about team culture. So spending time with Christina Delgado was exactly what I needed this past weekend. So for the next few weeks, other than the guest speakers we have, I'm basically going to be over time sharing all the goodies with you. Okay, so first, does anyone have any recognition maybe from last week or the week before if we missed it, or for this coming week? You can unmute yourself if you have to recognize someone.
I don't remember if I got to shout out Haley or not, but she's finally Emerald and she over the moon deserves it, and I'm super proud of her.
Congrats, Haley. Haley has an amazing journey. She shares every day with passion, and so I see a lot of her in you too, Candace, which is why she's part of your tribe, and I'm excited to watch you and her work together to crush it. Anyone else? Okay, cool. So these three things I'm about to talk about kind of have nothing to do with one another, but they lead into one another. So bear with me. If you all have your computers in front of you, this is something that I'd love for you to do, and you guys can share it at the end of the call. So go into your Coach Online office and go to My Business, and then go to My Volume, and go to My Carryover Volume. Do you guys need me to say that again? Log into your Coach Online office. And if you're a newer coach, you're probably not going to have tons of carryover volume. But I talked to a coach on another team today. I'm very numbers focused only because I needed the income and I was literally drowning and I felt like I was just like losing. I was out of control. I felt like I couldn't get my footing right. And so I learned the compensation plan because to me, you know, coming from a corporate job and being in debt and then going from no income basically to being able to control my income, that's why I liked the numbers, because I said, okay, my boss isn't controlling this. I'm going to change lives and I'm going to control this. So, oh, Mindy doesn't know how to unmute, but shout out to Mira for being a success starter and Emerald in her first month. It's okay. I'm glad that you wrote it in the comments. Mira, you are rocking it. And now I feel bad. I don't know how I missed her on the Success Club board, but she was at Success Club 16 last month. So I went back in and I edited that. Congratulations. She's sharing her passion and story every day too. Okay. So log into your Coach Online office, click on My Business, I'm like going through my head, My Volume, and then go to My Carryover Volume and write down what it says for last week, ending last week for left and right. Okay, and then you guys can share it in the comments either now or later. But I want you guys to understand, what is this carryover volume? And what a lot of people don't realize is you feel like you're probably not getting ahead. You might be like, I'm not making money. I don't know what's going on. I'm showing up. I'm trying. But what you guys might not realize is the last two right columns. Yes, Katie. What you guys probably don't even realize, which is why I go over this, is that you're kind of sitting on a gold mine, okay? Not everyone will be. It depends where you're at. It depends what team you're on. It depends all those different things. There's a million factors. But more importantly, I just want you guys to know what this is. So Bree, Cheryl, Audrey. Okay, cool. So this is going to give us a really good idea. And we're going to go back to this a little bit, but those numbers will be in there. And if you're a brand new coach, this isn't to overwhelm you. This is to say, holy shit, there's a lot of possibility here. Okay, so now I'm going to skip ahead now that I gave that little action item. Sorry, I'm reading at the same time. I want to share with you guys the team retreat that I am planning for 2017. So here's the deal. I have a lot of different scenarios in my mind of what I want to do, what I want to accomplish. You guys know I'm a giver. And I asked people in the wall, which is 5 stars and above, all the most successful coaches out there. And I was blown away by the engagement that I got on this question. And I said, have you guys ever done a team retreat for all the diamonds in your downline? And I was surprised a lot of people have, because there's some big teams out there, you know, like 60 diamonds. That would be just insane. So I have been writing names down of already diamonds. Here's my little list here. Already diamonds and people who are close or people that I know have the potential and they're going to do it. So now we're talking what's going to happen from now until December. So it's an end of year push for you guys to rally. I haven't finalized everything in terms of what you need to qualify to get there, but I want to get this. I just want to plant the seed in the back of your mind. And I want to show you guys because I know it's going to motivate the heck out of you. So it's going to be something along these lines where you're going to need to be a diamond coach. And so many of you are so close to being a diamond, you have no idea. Then we're also going to have some other requirements that you can qualify with Success Club and the Leadership Ladder. And again, I will post qualifications in July for this because it's going to be the second half of the year push. It's going to be in early January. So, or I should say mid-January. So I was going to do, and it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. I was going to do March, but the reason I don't want to do March is because the Punta Cana trip is in April, and I just feel like back-to-back that might be a little much for people. So I am going to do it in January. Now, I would love for it to be sunny and hot and, you know, all Florida-like in January, but I know that it will still be nice. March would have been a lot better probably, but regardless, hopefully my internet will hang in there, and I'm going to show you guys this house. Candace, if it gets choppy, just like wave at me because I can't see the chat box. Okay, guys. Whoops. I was already showing it on the live stream. Okay, so this house sleeps like a whopping 26 people in beds. So my mom and dad are going to be coming unless something happens from now to then. But when I went home after the team retreat, my parents were feeding off of my excitement. And I talked to my dad, and he's actually going to become a part of my business, and he's going to become a part where he's helping me with back-end stuff. And my mom was like, hey, if you need a little wifey at your team retreat, like they're just feeding off of me and they want to become a part of this too. So guys, if you haven't met my mom and dad, they're like the bee's knees. This is really going to be fun for a family affair. I'm clearly going to have an amazing guest speaker for you guys. Let me scroll through some of the pictures so you can see. Candace, so you're waving at me. Everything's good? Okay, cool. It's amazing. Look at this dinner table, guys. We're going to be one big happy family. So as of right now, I'm looking at July. Why do I keep saying July? January 11th to the 15th. And if the word July comes out, you know I mean January. There's like literally 10 bathrooms in this house. Look at this Star Wars arcade room. Like, excuse me? Star Wars little game room. There's a full-on movie theater. And I just want to spoil you guys and have fun. Now, a couple leaders have told me that for people to put skin in the game and really push this, what they did is they split the cost of the house between every single coach here. Now, I'm literally talking like if we do that, it's going to be like $200 a person, and I'm going to be taking care of everything else. The only way that I would be able to really invite the entire downline of people rocking this is if we do it like that. I haven't set anything in stone yet. But I would rather give you guys like a guest speaker and fly them out and give you the best training. And of course, I'm going to be paying for them to do that and pay for all your food and all the goodies and recognition. And then like, you know, we'll all split to stay. So I think that's amazing for all of us. Let me show you guys some other pictures. Look at all these cute rooms. Like you literally have like a master suite. And then there's these little kid rooms. Look at there's little Minions. And I already know who's staying in this room. My cousin Danielle is obsessed with Minions. Of course, they have a kids room. I think they have a Toy Story room. So when I just stayed at the retreat, look at this bathroom. Like, what is going on? So, okay, you guys get the idea. So I'm excited for let me stop the share real quick. It's going to be 2017. And again, I had the choice to go, okay, do I only go personally sponsored coaches? Or do I open it up to the downline and we work together? And I was like, there's no way I cannot have the other leaders in our team there. So I'm sure you guys, I'm reading the comments. Yeah, we need to all bring like a Chewbacca mask and run around. I'm sure you guys have all seen the Chewbacca lady, right? The viral video. Okay. So much room for activity. So last year we stayed in this little tiny Tahoe house. It was amazing. It was my first retreat, but like I just want all the room possible. Okay, so again, I want you guys to know what you need to be a diamond coach. That's first things first. So a lot of people are like, I want diamond, but now we're going to talk about owning diamond, right? There's a difference between being a Beachbody coach and there's a difference between being an entrepreneur. And if you want to be at this retreat, we have to think like an entrepreneur and know your business. So first is know what a diamond is. And then second, get to know the leadership ladder and what you need to advance on the leadership ladder. Okay, and I think I said this is going to be in Orlando, Florida. I will be there. I'm just seeing if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Dibs on Toy Story. Cool. All right, now I want to share with you guys. Perfect, right on the dot. It's 5:45. So I put together a presentation for you guys on just a portion of what I have learned from Kim Carver, who is an amazing corporate mentor. Let me pull it up. He put this note. Where did it go? Presentation together that really put together what it means to have a high octane team culture. Hold on, guys, gotta open it up. Open Sesame. And so I basically recreated with a little bit of my passion in there. Okay, and again, I do my best. You guys see? Okay. Awesome. So again, I wrote inspired by Kim Carver because I totally didn't want to copy everything that he had given us and take it as my own, but there's some things that I added in here. And so when he sat down, he said, I am sure that you would all love to know what it takes to have a kick-ass team. And so he pulled up a picture of the 87, 89, and 93, like when you go to the gas station. And he asked us questions about what is the difference between the 87 and the 93. And we just we're kind of guessing because a lot of people are like, it runs better, it burns hotter, all these different things. And so he basically applied this to Team Beachbody coaching. So how does high octane operate? So high octane would be a kick-ass team who's qualifying for retreats, who are thinking like CEOs, who are owning their business. And it involves a greater focus. It involves unity, identity, and fun. So when you guys show up in the Dream Corp team page, or when you show up in your team page and you're building this team culture, does your team all have a united focus? Do you guys have an identity? When you think about Dream Corp, what are the kind of coaches that you think of? And do we have fun? Hell freaking yeah. Do we have a shared purpose? Do we have values and goals that we all work on together? And I'm sharing this with you guys for two reasons. First, I want you to ask yourself, am I doing these things? And do I think this way? And secondly, do you represent that with your challengers and with your team? So a lot of coaches will be what we call surface level coaches, as in, I share a picture that I drank my shake today. I posted in my challenge group. So that would kind of be like the 87 out of the different gas types, right? So we want to operate at 93. You have to go beyond that. Do you have increased accountability and support within your team environment? You all know that I try to provide a welcoming, exciting, I love holding people accountable in our team page, and I hope that you feel supported by what we have to offer. Do you lean on each other? And this is something that if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for the leaders and the coaches, the people that I was recruiting for this company as a whole through what I went through this past winter, and that's what made me ugly cry at the team retreat, I think I would have went even further into a dark hole than where I started before this. And so a lot of people don't see what this opportunity can do for them. A high octane team operates, we raise the bar, we drive excellence. So we could talk about hitting Success Club 5. We could talk about posting 1 to 2 times a day, but we need to raise that bar and drive that excellence. So why should you even care about having a high octane self-discipline for yourself and for your team? And I love this because for the high octane, like literally the gas in your car, it causes less wear and tear on the engine. And that's going to do the same exact thing for your team. And you guys have no idea, the dynamic we have within our organization is so beautiful. The stories I hear with the drama and everything else that people have within their teams, I am so thankful to have the family that I have here with you guys. So if we operate with this high octane vision, we'll have less wear and tear, we'll have less coaches quitting, we'll have more success in life and business, and your passion cup will be filled. So there's a lot of people that don't know why I'm so crazy about the Beachbody coaching opportunity, and it's because they're not filling their cup with what's possible. I see the chat box blinking at me, but hopefully you guys are just chatting everything you can see. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that everything was good. So let's talk a little bit about, and again, we have a lot of people that are branching off now and leading their teams, and it just warms my heart. So for sharing purposes, I'm going to share a little bit about my idea of the team culture that I've really tried to hit home with you guys. So Kim said this weekend, and he talked about being a contributing member of society rather than a consumer. I can tell you right now that before being a coach and understanding what it's like to give and to put others first and to make priorities in life, I was a consumer. I got in my car, I filled up my gas tank, I'd go to work, I'd do my job, I would come home, and I would kind of just be a consumer. I would buy things, I would do this, I would do that, and I don't really think I was making a difference. And so when I created Dream Corp, the little description in Dream Corp, I'm pretty sure it says something along the lines of, my passion is built around teaching others and showing them that they have the ability to go after what they dream of. That's kind of paraphrasing it. But I am obsessed with helping people realize, like, shit, I can do this. I really can set a goal, work really hard towards it with a lot of self-discipline, thinking like an entrepreneur, and I can achieve that because I've lived it, I've done it, and I have to pay that forward. So kind of, again, stop and ask yourself, are you a contributing member of society? Are you contributing to within our team, within the network? You guys know who we are. You guys know what I value. You guys know our priorities. You know about the support and love and how we act. So if you are building a team, these are things that you want to think of so that you have a team operating it. And here's the kicker, guys. If you are, the leader of your team and your team doesn't know what you value and what the priorities are or what you stand for, you might want to kind of go back and start to share things like that. That's where people always ask, what is vision? What does it mean to have this vision? And then the other point is your culture guides your decisions. And I really stopped to think about that, and it's so true. Every single little thing that I share, that I say, and that I do is built around the culture that I want this team to have. So I push the boundaries, and I love, standing up to society standards because I want you guys to. So whatever the culture is that you're building is going to sort of guide your decision. And I just think it's so good to have a crystal clear vision on what it is you want. So let's dive in a little bit. So the title of this basically is Developing an Environment That Creates Independent Leaders. And it was so refreshing to have a tangible, mapped out plan from Kim Carver this weekend. So like our dream, right, is to have, I'm just making up a random number, 10 coaches on your team that are self-starters, that are motivated, that are finding the answers, that are seeking the answers on their own. That's our dream, right? That's the name of this. So I want to share with you guys how we can do that. And because I knew I thought that this was going to take me longer to go over the team retreat stuff, so I only tapped into talking about the first point, which is actually plenty of stuff. So the next call that I do, I'll break down point 2 and 3. And so the first is, if you want to develop an environment that creates independent leaders, success requires engagement. So again, I want you guys to stop and ask yourself, am I engaging in the community? Am I being I don't know why I can't say that word, contributing member to society? So first, like I said, success requires engagement. There is no way in heck that I can change lives and build a team culture if it's just me, myself, and I, right? And if you're a new leader, we always say and here, it's like crickets in my team page. It's like crickets in my team page. So if you're trying to build up that culture, maybe this will help. So first is you do need to require high engagement. And require isn't necessarily the word I want to use, but you guys will see what I mean in a moment. So the first piece of advice, are you focusing on your onboarding? What that means is when you sign a coach up or when you sign up a challenger, are you helping them take the steps that they need to? I have an entire team call that I dedicated to this, showing you what you should be doing to help you onboard your coaches. Because what happens is coaches will sign up a coach and then the coach is like, what do I do? So then what happens? That coach kind of doesn't engage. They sit back and they become a fly on the wall. The second tip is get them moving quickly. By that, it doesn't mean you need to hit Success Club 30 or you need to be a diamond tomorrow. We need to just get them moving forward. And for all different people, that is going to be, that's going to look different. So for some coaches, sharing a post on Facebook is like the scariest thing that they've ever done in their life. So all I need to do is help them do that as quick as possible, and we are moving forward. So you need to get to know your coaches in terms of what is going to help them move forward. Then there's other people I sign up and they're like, okay, I did the welcome email, I did the training, I already posted, I did my workout. So I, as a leader, need to engage with them and make sure that I'm helping them take the next step. Next is be organized. So take this, not literally because I'm not actually organized, but I at least know Are you waving at me, Candace? No? Okay. I saw your hand up there, so I'm like looking for you. Be organized to me means at least know the simple steps that you need to take to help your coaches. That does not mean you need this huge dynamic system of a 15-day training, because you don't. It's done for you. At a certain level of diamond and beyond, you'll recreate your own trainings. That's part of leading and things like that. And one of the days we'll be talking about that later. But don't get overwhelmed with the idea of being organized, but you do need to focus on that first interaction and the engagement that you are having with your new coaches in terms of onboarding. Because if I don't explain to them, and this is the next part here, setting expectations, if I don't kind of set the expectation with them of what they should expect and do in their first 90 days, what's going to happen? We're going to have cancellations. We're going to have people that are like, oh, that stupid Beachbody thing, it doesn't work. You can't do the work for them, but we can at least get organized and help them with their 90-day plan. What a 90-day plan looks like, to be honest, guys, is getting them comfortable with the team page, getting them comfortable with having a power hour, doing their workouts and sharing about it, social media, getting to know their why, super important. You know, if Candace came to me and was like, yo, I need to make $1,000 a week, I would treat her a lot different than if someone was like, $50 a week will do it. So you kind of need to know and set the expectation of what they'll need to do. For me, I knew I wanted to hit diamond in 90 days. I did it in 52 days, and my coach set me up for success because she was organized, she got me moving quickly, and she focused on her onboarding. Okay, the second part is for requiring high engagement. Again, think about engaging with your coaches. Our goal is to help them be independent by 90 days. So I always tell my new coaches when they sign on, your first 30 days, you're going to be a fish out of water. You're going to feel like, what is going on? I have no idea what's happening. And they can ask me questions. But then, by day or month 2, they're going to have an idea. Okay, I know how to sell a challenge pack. I know how to make a post. I know how to get on the team call. And by 90 days, they got all those basics down. Then I help them lead to the next step. We are not managers. We are leaders. So you can't micromanage someone. You can't force someone to do something, which brings us to the third point. And I'm so obsessed with this thought process of so many people, because this is how it was for so long before things like network marketing and these different opportunities, is we had an employee mindset, right? Okay, so an employee mindset for a coach is, Colleen, I want to do this. How many times do you guys hear that? I want to do this. I need to do this. I will do this. There's a big difference between wanting and owning. So the coach that says, but I want to do this, and then they don't really do the things that they need to do, they're sort of doing them. They're not owning it. So we need to teach that. You cannot be a Beachbody coach and sign up expecting to, unless I've been an entrepreneur before, sometimes you find that. I had to learn what being an entrepreneur meant. I'm just going to close my door here. Hi, Jetman. Go up. Oh. He's like, no. It's just very different, because when you go into work, you know what you have to do because someone told you what to do, right? And they tell you every single day, and they watch over your shoulders, and then they give you reviews, and then they give you a 5-cent raise. As an entrepreneur, you're owning it. You're not waiting for your coach to tell you what to do. So I had to kind of sit back and ask myself, how can I teach people how to be entrepreneurs? And it's really about helping them own this. And it all starts with that engagement. Does that make sense? I'm just going to peek in the chat real quick. 3% raise. Like, for real, I got a 25-cent raise as a manager at Verizon. I actually just ripped up. I was in a lawsuit with Verizon. Actually, let's not go there. I was in a lawsuit with Verizon because of the way that they paid us. And we won, but I didn't get paid out everything. So, 10-cent raise? Hell yeah. Oh yeah, maybe. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we're still underneath success requires engagement, okay? So the first thing is you understand what high engagement means. The second point of requiring engagement is beating the drum. So if you guys stopped hearing my sound, if I wasn't always posting, and if I wasn't always sharing, and if I wasn't always this, like, you guys are always hearing from me, right? If I stopped, you guys would kind of be like, hey, where'd you go? What's going on? Or you'd kind of be like, oh, well, Colleen's kind of sitting back. And what we call that is turtle head. And I totally thought of a turd when Kim said turtle head. So if you guys call turds turtle heads, so you can't be a turtle head with this. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to show up for this part, but not for this part. Oh, now I'm going to show up because it's Summit, and then I'm going to kind of sit back. And I see that all the time. You know, like someone signs up, and then they sign up another coach, and then they turtle head, and then they run away, and then their coach is doing good. Then they show up. And so you can't do that. You have to make the decision that you're always going to be beating your drum. And that can be hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but at least you're focusing in your mind what's going to have a high octane team environment. Leading with action, that's not rocket science, right? So if we want our coaches to hit Success Club, we need to hit Success Club. If we want our coaches to rank advance, we need to do everything we can to rank advance. Beating the drum, establishing non-negotiables. For me, you guys know my non-negotiables. If you're not doing PD, you are not going to grow a business. You are not personally growing. Non-negotiables, these team calls. And I know that I'm tough love, and I know that I set the bar high, because I know what you guys are capable of. I've watched what this team has done. I know all of your stories, and that's what fires me up. So again, in your team page, are you beating that drum? Does your team kind of know the non-negotiables of your team culture? And that can be different for everyone, but this is good for you to map out. And we laughed about this at the team retreat, creating a team, not a country club. And so Kim said that he had never been golfing at a country club before, and he showed up. And he said he felt so out of place because he felt like people were there just to be a part of something. So a lot of people join Beachbody actually to kind of join for the community, but you want to create a team. And the way you do that is you beat the drum, you engage, you know your coach's why, and you're helping them achieve their goals. So back to, are you purely just existing, or are you contributing? Awesome example, Janelle. Right? You guys see Janelle always up in the team page, always sharing. She's beating her drum. She's not going anywhere. She's not a turtlehead. And I already shared the last part. If you stopped hearing my sound, what would happen to the team culture? And whoops. Last part. So again, like I said, their success requires engagement, has 3 pieces to it. So I think this is something that a lot of people don't think of, and it's a really cool way to think about it. So do you ask for and stick with accountability? Because it's very easy for us to say, okay, I'm going to commit to this 60-day program, or I'm going to commit to my Team Beachbody coaching business and not stick with it, right? People fall off all the time. So are you asking for and sticking with accountability? So here's how you can share some things with your team and even your challengers, guys, about accountability. So assume high performance. You guys can ask all my best friends on this team here, do I have expectations up here? I totally do, because I know what you guys are capable of. You might not see it, but I'm obsessed with the idea of showing you guys what you're made of, because the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So a coach that was at the team retreat this weekend, I thought I did a good job of getting her to feel like she's like doing it, right? She just went through this crazy thing this past winter. So we related in terms of what Sean and I went through. And then she's like, hey, I'd love to have you speak on my team call. And so I originally said, no, I can't do it. Then I came back and was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm not going away that day anymore. My schedule changed. And she's like, okay, let me ask my team if they can do it. No, you tell your team, you show your ass up. And she's like, I know, I'm such a softie. And I was like, so you need to assume that high performance, because if you give your team the option to do these things, are they going to do it? No. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. Back to, okay, accountability. Are you setting goals and working together to achieve those goals? I put in parentheses, setting priorities. I think this is something that goes back to, are you a coach or are you an entrepreneur? If I could take you guys with me and show you my living room right now, I haven't even unzipped my suitcase. I haven't unpacked a damn thing. I haven't even taken a shower, I don't think, since I've gotten home. And so to me, making this presentation and showing up in this team call and planning the team retreat, to me, is everything I need to do. And sometimes you're like literally telling people who want this, quote unquote, that like the laundry has to wait. The dishes, they can wait. Like that literally sometimes you have to lay that out for people. So are you setting priorities, and are you asking your upline for accountability? I probably won't unpack that suitcase literally until next week, until I go away again. And a lot of people are like, well, what do you mean? Like, I always come home and I always unpack my suitcase. And that's the thing, you have to change. And we're going to talk about that on the next slide. But to become an entrepreneur, things change and your habits change. Strategically recognize. This is muy importante. So if you're in my personally sponsored coach page, you guys will see me. I'm trying to work on my 4th vital behavior of recognition every single day. I feel like I do a pretty good job of it, but you will see me recognize my coaches for certain things. Do you guys think that I just pick something randomly to recognize? No way. It's because we want to enforce that type of behavior within the team. I shouted out Filma today because she's always shouting out her coaches. So when you go to her page, it's not the Filma show, which is like, hey, I did this today, and I did this today, and I did this today. It's about what you're doing for other people. So I recognized her for that because that is going to help the team know what they need to be doing. And then that is tied in with accountability. So in the back of my personally sponsored coaches' heads, they're probably like, okay, Colleen will recognize Success Club, and she talks about Diamond, and she talks about Leadership Ladder. So that's going to hold people accountable to the things that they should be doing. Last point on here. Do you value your time? And this is the hardest thing for me. I still don't think I value my own time, because I will, again, like, I made this presentation rather than unpack my suitcase, and there's so many coaches that have said that they want this, and they schedule a call with me, and then they still do nothing. And I add up those hours in my mind of how much time I've given, and I have to have a reality check and hold myself accountable sometimes to remind myself that I'm here to help those people, but I need to value my time. So if they're putting in the work and they're, doing the things that we're talking about on these calls for an hour and a half, then of course they can always have my time, but I have to value my own time. So if you have, Kim calls them emotional vampires, and I'm talking to you guys all as leaders right now, but you'll have these coaches sometimes, and even just like people in your life that constantly feel like they're sucking your blood, and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know how to help them anymore. And it's like, they've got to be that entrepreneur. All right, and then lastly, so my question to you guys is, now you've heard some of these things, right? You've learned a little bit about team culture. We've talked a little bit about what you can push for in the next 6 months. If you don't push to get to that retreat, y'all are crazy. And I just got to text this on you, because as humans, we crave connection. And before the team retreat that I just went to, I was struggling because I was just struggling. A million reasons, but I was struggling. And because I got to that event, as always, just like Summit, just like after our team retreats, just like Super Saturdays, just like after the Success Club trips, you've got to push to be there, because we're all gonna unite together and make shit happen. So what are you gonna do different? And that's just kind of a rhetorical question. When I post the recording in the team page, or when I post in the team page, I'd love to hear your takeaways. And again, I still have 2 other points to this topic of high octane team culture to share, but that will have to wait. And what habits are you going to change? Kind of goes back to, are you setting the priorities? It's so interesting that, a mom, Jen Crowder, of 5 boys, who was a teacher, could grow this business, right? And she had to set priorities. And she said, her house wasn't clean, or, she'd miss out on TV or whatever it was. Sometimes it comes down to changing some of those habits. And then the last question is, do you believe that this is actually possible for you? I think a lot of people struggle with that, because they're just like, oh, well, so-and-so can do it. Well, that's great for them. And that was me before. I used to think people that had their dream home were rolling in it, or they were lucky CEOs at the top of the building. And then when I realized that within this community that there were, average people doing extraordinary things, I was like, what the hell? I'm so sick of watching them do this. So until you actually believe this is possible for you, it's going to be very hard to create a team culture around helping other people believe. And that's what I have for you guys today. People actually unpack. And I mean, like Bree, honestly, Bree, Audrey, like Courtney, I'm trying to think of like my non-PS coaches. Was that it? I'm missing someone, I think. But, you know, they were brand new, like 6-month-old coaches. And there's something about being a leader when you see people that have the potential. And someone asked me today, why do you think I have potential? And I said, because I know your story and I know what you've been through and I know what you pushed through. And to be honest, to be successful, it's how much are you willing to do to get to where you want to go? That's what it comes down to. And I saw it in them. And when they left that team retreat, they were like, I don't even need you anymore. Peace out. I'm doing this. And so it was so cool to watch them take off. That's okay.
I'm working too.
My little working entrepreneur over here. Stacy, I mean, yeah. So I have to tell you a story about Stacy, and she's totally going to punch me for this. But, you know, Stacy was one of those people that I posted in the team page about taking this to the top, and she reminded me that she didn't want to take this to the top. And I was kind of like, oh, am I pushing my goals on people? Like, oh my God, I got so worried. And then, you know, I said, no, I need to stay strong as a leader. I need to stay strong because this is my vision, and this is what I want to do, and I'm here to help those who want it. And now, and again, this isn't about quitting jobs. It's about putting yourself in an environment where you thrive and where you're doing what you want to do. And whether or not that's her full-time job, which it's not, now she's leaving and she's going to pursue other things alongside Beachbody. And I just think that's cool because that's what I designed this team culture for you guys to do. Think beyond the box. Okay, do you guys have any questions? I love, Sarah was thinking of poop too when I said trailhead. Who's excited for, carryover volume, thank you. So, let me look at some of these numbers. Thank you for reminding me. And it takes time to build up carryover volume. Okay, so Stacy, you were one of the first numbers, and Jen. So you guys are really strong on your left side. So, you know, just averaging, you guys have about, 700 volume points that are just sitting there and you're not cashing out on team cycles. So what if I was to tell you that if you were, I'm doing math. So Stacy and Jen, if you were to build up your right side to 1,400 team volume, so hopefully you guys know what produces volume. Shakeology, challenge packs, pretty much anything that we sell, right? And there's numbers associated with each thing. Shakeology is 90, always across the board. So if you guys are finding coaches that are going to hit Success Club, also known as producing volume, and put them on your right side, you could be earning $126 a week in team cycles. And I say that number because you already have 700 on your left side. You need double that on your right side because, again, they take 100 from your low side, and then they take 200 from your high side. So by the time that would all break down, and this, if you were a diamond coach at $18 a cycle, you'd be making $126 a week. That's just an example, guys. And you guys are, Stacey, you're a newer coach. That's freaking awesome. A lot of people tell me, all I need to do is fill my gas tank. All I need to do is pay my cell phone bill. And that will compound over time. So Mindy, you're pretty balanced at 100 right now. And again, being a newer coach, it's going to take time. But if you guys have coaches on your left leg and right leg, which is why we have you place them on both sides, is if your team is hitting Success Club and helping other people, you're going to be starting to cash out on more team volume. So that example. So, okay, Sarah, holy moly, Sarah, your team is cranking. So are you guys ready to hear this? So this is how I do it. 16,593 on her right leg. And let's just say she's at 0. It says negative 75 on her left. That means someone returned something, whatever. Let's just say 0. Okay, so we need to build up your left side. Divided by 2. So you need 8,296 on your left leg to cash out on all this volume. And you would be making at a diamond, you're kind of sitting on $1,400 right now. Not a week, but you're sitting on $1,400 waiting to be cashed out because you have all this volume on the right-hand side. Probably because you're on your coach's right leg and they're kicking ass building over there. So we need to build up your left leg with people like you hitting Success Club. That's a lot of money that you're sitting on. Okay, so Alyssa, 4568 divided by 2. So 22 team cycles. If you had 2,200 volume on your left side, you're sitting on about $400 right now. Pretty cool, right? And you guys, all it comes, when people are just like, I don't get this, it comes down to knowing what your strong leg is, which my team and your team, your coach Allie is rocking it. They're building all this volume up on your right leg. So on your left, we just need to find another Allie or another you that's going to hit Success Club and recruit some people so that you guys can start balancing that out. Janelle, do you want me to do the math for you? Okay, so Janelle, her right leg is cranking, okay? And so I know for a fact that her left leg, she's building that up. So 134 cycles, it's about $2,400. So for everyone that's like, I don't know what to do, focus on, like, this is why we have to recruit. And this is why we have to pay this forward to other people. Because if we're not building a team that's productive, you guys are like, we're all lopsided. It's not a bad thing, it happens. It took me almost 2 years to get that balanced out. I didn't have a team until my first, Candace and Katie were some of my first coaches after a year of being a coach. So guys, I totally understand that struggle. So hopefully I didn't just like confuse the crap out of you guys, but I just wanted to let you know that if you have a team that's strong on one side, do everything you can to balance that out. I like numbers, it's pretty cool. Any other questions? I'm reading your hilarious comments. Candace, wow. Do you want me to do that, Candace? 218,000 divided by 2. So you need to produce a shit ton more volume on your right leg, which your team I know will do. 109,000. So that's like 19 grand. Pretty crazy. What version of GoPro am I using? I don't know if you mean like, am I using the book or audio, but I've done book. Is that what you mean? Ouch. And just a kind of side note, I know that Alyssa just asked that question, but you know, Candace and Janelle have been working at this for how long? And they've been beating that drum, and they're sitting on a gold mine and they're working up their other leg to be productive, right? And so it takes time to build that up. So don't be like, well, why isn't this happening for me? You know, Candace is going on 2 years. Janelle, I believe, yeah, you just had your 2-year anniversary. Is there a name for the retreat place in Orlando? So yes, if you guys actually go to luxuryretreats.com and type in the search bar, Gathering 7433. That'll show you the house. Super pumped. Oh, you meant GoPro? Oh my God, I'm like clearly jet lag. GoPro is in the freaking camera that's sitting right in front of me. I'm so sorry. They asked her, they answered what they have. So I got the Hero 4 Black because I'm just a snob and had to get the high-end one. I don't really care about the camera on the, or the screen on the back because I connect it to my phone and that's how I download the picture, edit it, and share it. So, Sean already had like a middle version, so I was like, whatever. But it was super awesome. Talking about the camera. I'm so embarrassed right now. I was like, oh yeah, the book. I was so excited for the team retreat. So I'm already going to be planning it. It is going to be the bee's knees, and I'm investing in you guys because I freaking believe in you. And those retreats have changed my life. So I will be posting July 1st. I actually emailed the guy to put the deposit down. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. So as soon as that's finalized, then we can work from there. Okay, guys, I love you. I hope tonight pumped you guys up a little bit and gave you guys some direction. The dates, if we get it, would be January 11th to the 15th is what I'm trying to do right now. Oh, wait, so hold on. You guys won't be there the 11th, but you'd be there the 12th to the 15th. I go the 11th to set up the freaking mansion. It's going to take me forever. But we're going to have chefs there and all the fancy pants. All right, bye, guys. Have a great night. See ya. I missed you.